Have you ever felt it? That deep, unsettling silence in the world. It's a quiet that feels too loud, a stillness that seems to vibrate with unspoken tension. You look around and on the surface, everything seems to be moving along as usual. People go to work, seasons change, life continues its familiar rhythm. But beneath this veneer of normalcy, there's a profound sense of waiting, a feeling that something monumental is just over the horizon. This silence is not emptiness, it's not absence, it's the deep collective breath being held before the plunge. This is the silence before the war. In the unseen realm, a different story is unfolding. While the world is distracted by fleeting headlines and temporary troubles, heaven is in a state of high alert. Imagine it, legions of angels, their armor gleaming with a celestial light that could outshine 1,000 suns, standing at attention. Their swords are not just drawn, they are sharpened with purpose, honed by an unwavering commitment to the King of Kings. These are not the cherubic figures of Renaissance paintings. These are mighty warriors, veterans of ancient conflicts, their faces set like flint, their eyes fixed on their commander. The atmosphere in heaven isn't one of frantic panic, but of focused, holy readiness. Every heavenly being is in position, every role assigned. The air crackles with divine power, a stored energy waiting for a single command. The shadows of the earth, those pockets of darkness where evil has been allowed to fester, are trembling. They can sense it. They know their time is short. The oppressive quiet they once commanded is now being suffocated by a holy stillness that promises their undoing. Why this silence? Why does God seem so quiet when the world is crying out? It's a question many of us have asked in moments of doubt and despair. We pray, we plead, we search for a sign, and sometimes all we hear is the echo of our own voice. It's easy to misinterpret this quietness as distance, as indifference. It's easy to think He's forgotten us, but that is a profound misunderstanding of the nature of God. His silence is not a sign of His absence, but a testament to His strategy. Think of the greatest moments in history. Before the storm, there is an eerie calm. Before a master artist unveils their masterpiece, there is a period of hidden, intense work behind a curtain. Before a king makes a game-changing decree, he deliberates in the quiet of his chambers. God's silence is the silence of preparation. He is aligning every piece on the cosmic chessboard. He is orchestrating events that we, with our limited vision, cannot yet comprehend. He is allowing certain things to play out, not because He is powerless to stop them, but because their culmination will serve a greater purpose in His ultimate plan of redemption and justice. This quiet period is also a time of mercy. It's a final, gracious opportunity for the world to turn back. It's a space for the lost to be found, for the sleeping church to awaken. In His silence, God is extending a moment of grace, a chance to choose a side before the battle lines are irrevocably drawn. He is patient, not wanting anyone to perish, but to come to repentance. This stillness is a gift, a sacred pause before the inevitable acceleration of His divine timeline. But do not mistake this patience for passivity. The silence is nearing its end. Soon, the stillness will shatter. A sound will erupt from the heavens that will shake the very foundations of the earth. It will not be a whisper, nor a suggestion. It will be a roar. The Lion of the tribe of Judah will roar. This is not the gentle Lamb who walked the dusty roads of Galilee, healing the sick and comforting the brokenhearted. That is one facet of His glorious being, the one that offered salvation. But the one who is coming is also the conquering King, the righteous Judge, the Lion whose voice commands authority over all creation. When that roar echoes through the cosmos, every pretense will fall away. Every lie will be exposed. Every hidden darkness that has coiled itself around the hearts of men and the systems of this world will be blasted by the pure, unadulterated light of His glory. There will be no negotiation, no debate, no compromise. The authority of the King will be absolute and immediate. The forces of darkness that now seem so entrenched, so powerful, will flee in terror. The spiritual strongholds that have held nations and individuals captive for generations will crumble into dust. The arrogance and pride that have defied God will be broken. The roar will be a declaration of final victory, a sound of reclamation. He is coming to take back what is rightfully His. So, when you feel that silence, don't let fear or doubt take root in your heart. Don't mistake God's strategic quiet for divine inaction. Instead, let it be a call to prepare. Use this time not to fall asleep, but to draw closer to Him. Clothe yourself in the armor of God He has provided, not for a defensive crouch, but for a victorious stand. Sharpen your own spirit with prayer and the Word, so that when the command comes, you are ready. This is the time to align yourself with the armies of heaven. This is the time to ensure your heart belongs to the Lion, not to the fleeting shadows of the world. The silence is a promise. It's the deep, holy anticipation of the King's return. He is not distant. He is not unaware. He is simply quiet because He is about to act. And when He does, everything will change forever. The King is coming, and His roar will be our victory. Have you ever felt like you're fighting a battle you can't see? It's not always the loud, obvious threats that are the most dangerous. Sometimes the real enemy, the true darkness, doesn't arrive with a bang or a clash of swords. It creeps in silently, almost unnoticed. It comes disguised as distraction. Think about it. That constant pull of your phone, the endless scroll through social media, the 24/7 news cycle designed to keep you anxious and outraged. These aren't just modern conveniences. They can be weapons of mass distraction. They are designed to pull your focus away from what truly matters, from your purpose, from your connections, from your inner peace. This is the subtle siege. The enemy does not need to break down your walls if he can just get you to forget you even have them. He wants you so preoccupied with the trivial that you neglect the eternal. And what army does this silent enemy command? It's an army of shadows, fear, lies, and confusion. Fear is the scout, sent ahead to paralyze you. It whispers doubts in your ear, telling you you're not good enough, not strong enough, that failure is inevitable. It makes you afraid to take risks, to love deeply, to pursue your calling. It wants to shrink your world until you're trapped in a prison of your own anxieties, too scared to even try. Then come the lies, the infantry of this invisible force. They mix just enough truth with falsehood to sound believable. You're all alone in this. No one understands what you're going through. Your past mistakes define you forever. These lies are corrosive. They eat away at your self-worth and your trust in others. They isolate you, making you feel like an island in a vast, uncaring ocean. When you believe these lies, you start to build your life on a foundation of falsehood, a house of cards just waiting for the slightest breeze to collapse. And finally, the heavy artillery, confusion. This is the fog of war. It clouds your judgment, blurs the lines between right and wrong, and makes you question everything you once held dear. It thrives in chaos, in information overload, in conflicting messages. When you're confused, you can't make clear decisions. You're easily manipulated, swayed by the loudest voice rather than the truest one. Confusion makes you second-guess your own intuition, your own values, until you don't know which way is up. It's a state of spiritual vertigo, and in that state, you are vulnerable. Fear, lies, confusion. This is the three-pronged attack. It's not a physical assault, but a psychological and spiritual one. It targets your mind and your heart, because the enemy knows that if he can conquer your inner world, your outer world will surely follow. He doesn't need to defeat you in a fair fight. He just needs to convince you to defeat yourself. But here is the fundamental truth, the one principle that changes everything. Darkness, in and of itself, has no power. It is not a force, but an absence. It is the void left when light is removed. Think of the darkest room you've ever been in. It seems absolute, suffocating. But what happens when you strike a single match? The darkness doesn't fight back. It doesn't struggle. It simply vanishes in the presence of that tiny flame. It flees. Darkness can only exist where light is rejected. It can only occupy the spaces we refuse to illuminate. Our fear, our acceptance of lies, our surrender to confusion. These are the ways we draw the curtains and shut out the light. We give darkness its territory. We hand over the keys to our own hearts. So, what is this light we speak of? It is faith. It is hope. It is truth. It is love. It is the unwavering belief in something greater than the shadows. When your faith burns bright, it acts as a beacon. It's not just a passive glow. It's an active, repelling force. Evil, darkness, the army of distraction, they lose their power in the presence of a steadfast spirit. They thrive on doubt. So when you stand in certainty, they have no ground to stand on. They feed on fear. So when you act with courage, they starve. This isn't about pretending the darkness isn't there. It's about choosing to turn on the light anyway. It's about acknowledging your fear but refusing to be ruled by it. It's about hearing the lies but choosing to believe the truth instead. It's about feeling the confusion but actively seeking clarity and wisdom. Faith isn't the absence of doubt. It's the courage to move forward despite it. When you feel that cold grip of fear, light the flame of courage. Do the thing you're afraid to do. When you hear the whispers of lies, light the flame of truth. Remind yourself of who you are, of your worth, of your potential. When you feel lost in the fog of confusion, light the flame of wisdom. Seek guidance. Pray, meditate, connect with your core principles. Every time you choose light, you reclaim territory from the darkness. And remember this, perhaps the most hopeful truth of all: the darker the night, the closer the dawn. It is often in our moments of greatest struggle, when the shadows seem longest and the night seems endless, that the first rays of sunrise are just over the horizon. Despair is the final trick of the darkness, the lie that the night will last forever. Don't believe it. Your struggles are not a sign that you are losing. They are a sign that you are in the fight. The resistance you feel is proof that you are pushing back against the darkness. The intensity of the battle often indicates the value of the territory being fought over, and that territory is your soul, your purpose, your destiny. So when the enemy comes, not with a roar but with a distraction, recognize it for what it is. When the army of fear, lies, and confusion lays siege to your mind, do not surrender your inner fortress. Instead, let your faith burn. Let it burn so brightly that it casts out every shadow. Let it be the fire that guides you through the night. Hold on, because the darkness is deepest just before the break of day. And your dawn is coming. The sky peels back like a scroll, not with the gentle dawn we know, but with a light so profound it redefines brilliance. This isn't just the sun rising. This is the source of all suns, the very heart of light, breaking through the veil of our reality. A hush falls over all creation, a silence so deep you can feel it in your bones, as if the universe itself is holding its breath in anticipation. And then, he appears, riding not on a simple steed, but on the currents of eternity itself. This is the King of Kings, the commander of heaven's armies, and his presence is an overwhelming symphony of power and grace. His eyes are not just seeing, they are knowing. They are like blazing fire, burning away every facade, every pretense, until only the raw, unvarnished truth remains. They see through the ages, past, present, and future, understanding every heart, every motive, every tear ever shed. When he speaks, the sound is not merely words. It is the voice of many waters, the crash of 1,000 waterfalls, the deep, resonant roar of a mighty ocean. It is thunder that doesn't just shake the ground, but rearranges the very atoms of the air. It's a sound that carries the weight of ultimate authority, a decree from which there is no appeal. Every word is a creative force, shaping reality, establishing justice, and declaring victory. Before this voice, every argument is silenced, every whisper of deceit evaporates like mist in the morning sun. He is robed in majesty, a garment dipped in light, and on his head are many crowns, each one a testament to a victory already won, a kingdom already secured. His name is the Word of God, the living, breathing, all-powerful expression of divine truth. He is the ultimate reality against which all other things are measured. Following him are the armies of heaven, a celestial host beyond number, arrayed in fine linen, white and pure. They ride on white horses, a river of light flowing behind their king. They are not an army of aggression, but an army of reclamation, of restoration. They carry no anger, only the resolute purpose of their commander. Their presence is a declaration that the time for darkness has ended. And what of the shadows? Those lingering pockets of fear, doubt, and despair that have plagued existence for so long. In the face of this eternal light, they have no substance. They tremble, not with fear as we understand it, but with the existential crisis of their own non-existence. They are unmade, undone by the sheer purity of the light. They scatter like dust motes in a sunbeam, their power revealed as nothing more than a temporary illusion. Every lie that has ever been whispered, every piece of deception that has twisted minds and broken hearts, is now laid bare. They fall silent, exposed for the empty things they are. The grand deceptions and the small personal falsehoods we tell ourselves, all of it dissolves. There is no place for them to hide, no darkness left to give them cover. The truth, in its absolute and final form, reigns supreme. The great confrontation, the battle we've anticipated through all of history, is over before it even begins. It's not a struggle, it's a revelation. It's the moment when the temporary power of rebellion is met with the eternal authority of the Creator. The outcome was never in doubt. Light doesn't just fight darkness, it displaces it. It fills every void, every corner, every heart. And so, the new era dawns. An age where the light is not just a daily visitor but the very fabric of our being. A reality where every tear is wiped away, where every wrong is made right, and where the rule of the King of Kings brings about a peace that surpasses all understanding. The story doesn't end with a battle. It begins with a victory. A permanent, unshakable, glorious victory. Light wins, not just for a day, not just for a millennium, but forever. The glory of the eternal light is not just a spectacle to behold. It is the home we were always destined for. This is the final beautiful truth. Have you ever wondered how it all ends? Not with a bang, not with a whimper, but with a victory so profound it rewrites the very fabric of existence. We've journeyed through visions of chaos, empires rising and falling, and cosmic battles that shook the heavens. But after all the smoke clears, what remains? It's not a scene of endless ruin. It's a picture of ultimate hope. Imagine, after all the turmoil, a single unshakable throne. And seated upon it isn't a fearsome conqueror draped in gold, but a lamb. The same lamb that was once sacrificed, now standing in eternal victory. This is the stunning paradox at the heart of the story. The greatest power in the universe isn't brute force, but self-giving love. The one who gave everything is the one who gains everything. This isn't just a change of ruler, it's a complete transformation of reality. Think about the deepest hurts of the human heart. The pain of loss, the sting of betrayal, the fear of the unknown. The story promises a new world where He will wipe every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death, no more mourning, no more crying or pain, because the old order of things has passed away. It's a future not just free from bad things, but filled with good things. A place of total healing and restoration. And what about the darkness we so often feel, both outside and within? The vision shows a city that has no need for the sun or the moon to shine on it, for the glory of God gives it light, and the Lamb is its lamp. This isn't just about physical light, it's about spiritual and moral clarity. No more shadows to hide in, no more confusion, no more night. Just the pure, warm, unending light of God's presence. Imagine a life lived in complete transparency and peace, where you are fully known and fully loved. This final chapter turns our typical idea of an end-of-the-world story completely upside down. It's not about destruction, it's about redemption. It's not about an ending, it's about a new beginning. The entire epic, with all its frightening imagery and dramatic events, was always pointing to this: the creation of a new heaven and a new earth, where God dwells with humanity. The ultimate goal was always relationship. The final invitation in the story is breathtakingly simple. Let the one who is thirsty come, and let the one who wishes take the free gift of the water of life. It's an open invitation. After everything we've seen, the story concludes not with a command, but with an offer of grace. It's a reminder that this glorious future isn't something to be earned, but a gift to be received. So, as we close this journey, remember this: the story doesn't end in chaos. It ends in a garden city. It doesn't end with a dragon, but with a lamb. It doesn't end in darkness, but in everlasting light. It's a victory not of power, but of love. A victory that offers not just an escape from the brokenness of this world, but the promise of a world made perfectly new. The Lamb has won, and His light shines forever. Thank you so much for joining me on this incredible exploration. If this series has moved you or given you a new perspective, I'd be honored if you'd like the video and subscribe to the channel for more content that dives deep into these timeless stories. See you in the next one.